Trago is one of those places that feels like the end of the world. To get to this small community in northwest Montana, you drive an hour north up U.S. Highway 93 from Kalispell, the closest town of any note, turn left before the Canadian border, and head through a thick forest. Where the side road hits train tracks, there's a clearing with spectacular views of green-covered mountains. The last U.S. Census reported that Trago is home to 855 people, most of whom live up in these mountains, in houses, homesteads, and cabins carved out of the Kootenai National Forest. If you're unlucky, like I was when our small crew visited one afternoon in October 2022, the Trago General Store, pub, and post office will all be closed. We snapped a few pictures, the train tracks, the buildings, an American flag flapping away on a pole attached to a rusting tractor. It was quiet, and except for an occasional autumn gust rolling down the Rockies, it was peaceful and still. It's hard to believe that anything in Trago could be more dramatic than the scenery looked. But we had been drawn to this stretch of wilderness by a dark, compelling story. Trago was once the headquarters of the militia, which spearheaded the most organized attempt to halt the transfer of presidential power on January 6, 2021. High in the hills was the former home of Stewart Rhodes, founder and president of the Oath Keepers, a house that had once been surrounded by trenches and booby traps. None of Trago's 855 residents were around. Even if we did happen to encounter one, we'd been warned that not everyone in the area would be particularly chatty. Fortunately, there was one former resident who was ready to talk to us. Dakota Adams was the estranged son of Stewart Rhodes. Later that day, a few miles away, he told me about his escape from his father. His childhood and adolescence had tracked the growth of the Oath Keepers, from an idea to an organization to an engine of far-right revolution. The teenage Dakota, like so many young men, had strained to win the approval of his father. He participated in weapons drills and militia meetings, but then he became disillusioned. His father was angry and abusive, he said. He wanted out, and he engineered the family's escape from their Trago home. I spent 2 years scheming behind Stewart's back, he told me, saving money to secure a lawyer and independent transportation to make a clean getaway.